LEGO Star Wars is easily one of the biggest themes LEGO has released over the years, but for some reason they've never focused on making any sets for the planet Kamino, which is why I decided to make one myself. In one episode of the Clone Wars, there's a giant battle on Kamino, and I've always really liked how action-packed this scene was, and I really wanted my LEGO version of Kamino to take a lot of inspiration from this. Making all of Kamino would be way too big to make an accurate size build of, so my LEGO version is just one of these hangar bay areas that are on the outside of the base. The first thing that catches my eye when I look at this build is the giant squid robot that drills into the side of the base and drops off a ton of aqua droids. Now, LEGO has never made either of these droids in any of their sets before, so I decided to make them myself. For the squid droid, I used my own design, but for the aqua droids, I based them off of a design I found online. I'll leave the link in the description if you want to check it out for yourself. But yeah, I really like how these both came out, and I think they look really good. Moving on to the clone minifigures, I used mostly 501st Troopers in this build, but for the main characters, I put Anakin and Captain Rex side by side, as well as Commander Cody in the background. For the dark side minifigures, I didn't end up having a General Grievous, but I did have a Darth Maul, and I still think that fits in there pretty well. If you're wondering why he only has a one-sided lightsaber, I'll get to that in a minute. The structure of the build itself sits on 6 of these gray pillars and some blue base plates. I surrounded the build with walls, but left out a roof because it would take away from a lot of the build and make it much harder to see. The main part of this build is obviously the hangar bay itself, but there's also this little cloning lab off to the side here. This area comes with a sliding door and some clone figures doing some research. For the tiny details in this build, there are tons of boxes scattered on the floor, as well as flames and pools of water everywhere. There are tons of different minifigures and little stories happening in this build, but the coolest part is when I shut the lights off. I added lights to this whole build, and I really think it helps it come to life. The best part about these lights is I could even get the lightsabers to light up, but you can't really put 2 saber pieces in these light up bricks, so that's why Darth Maul only has a one-sided lightsaber. I had a lot of fun making this build, and I could talk about its details forever, but I think that's enough of me talking for today. The next part of this video is just going to be a silent tour of the build, so you can really see all the details and just kind of explore it for yourself. Thank you guys for making it to the end of the video. I really enjoyed making this, and I can't wait to see you guys in the next one.